wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more?
Don't be afraid of the bounce. See when your things levels got changed to your mouth. How can I walk in doubt? Never been a beg, never been a loud mouth. Pen can go for days. I'm obsessed with it, can't change my ways. So blessed with it, what can I say? Top form staying in shape.
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more?
I'm gonna run it up, though you know your fun is up. James knew back when I was coming up. Didn't wanna know then, now I bet they loving us no more. No R&R's, the bar is raised. If you know me, now I can bar for days. Nothing there to prove, cause I've done enough. Lights out, still gonna keep the torch. Show you a little piece, wanna see some more?
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more? 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 Soul gonna rise when I leave this corpse. Show you look a piece, wanna see some more? Show you look a piece, wanna see some more?
GA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. On the ground, it's the rookie from Alabama. And he'll go down at the 26, forming a gain of 6. Well, this defense for the Titans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well. And that's what they did in their last game.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. You talk about this Titan defense. They were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you're outplaying their defense as well. And that's what they did in the last game.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this is going to be a Colts first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. The Colts at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
20, 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. But Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you take a big off for a little, and oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
These two teams met in Nashville earlier in the year with the Titans coming away victorious. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The drive will start with an option going left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the Colts are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll motion out one of the tight ends. Off play action. Richardson. They'll roll him out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
They'll try to run this one in. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they...
Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is what long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Richardson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Richardson. incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. And this taken in by Downs. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
They're going option play on 3rd down. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or they're kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wonder just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they sit now at 500 on the year. And, Charles, this was a team that really looked lost in that first month or so of the season, but they have had the hot hand lately, winning 3 straight.
I would agree. It's almost hard to believe that this is the same team because we followed them pretty closely throughout this season. And early on, I know I thought this is going to be a really tough year for this crew. So plenty of credit to them for turning the ship around.
Right back to him on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Richardson looking to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Richardson out of the shotgun. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is Is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say,
he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
On first down, Fulton broke through some contact but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 4. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Fulton. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Looking to throw. Haynes. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on. Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive. And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Richardson looking to throw this. Left side, it's complete. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Richardson to throw off play action. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Here's Richardson to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Richardson back to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Richardson off the play fake. Rolling to his right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Back to throw. Haynes. He'll complete this one. Okakwo. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Haynes. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Has the carry. It does not. It's no good. That's it for the 1st half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
This is Smith with a grab. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
24-yard gain. And the Titans first down.
And now what's this? They fake the spike. He'll throw it.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Haynes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Oh, and now some trickery. They fake the spike. And that'll be caught. And he's going to get out of bounds at least. So the fake spike does yield a completion. But that's a big risk to run there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Haynes. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll try and sneak it here. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great play there. His 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Titans have cut it back within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will shrink to 6. So here comes the kickoff. And what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Across midfield. He's on his way. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
The Colts will line up for the 2-point conversion.
That's caught at the 2.
The attempt at the 2-point conversion is
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Operating from the gun, Haynes. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They'll run on first down. Fulton. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 29-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Up the middle they go. Fulton, and he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now.
Well, forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Here we go on fourth down. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. It's a quarterback sneak. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll try and run for it. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Titans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And now here's a carry heading left. Down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 34. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Richardson working from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Colts are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Now the try here for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And this one is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left sideline complete. It's Smith. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Titans have got it back to within a score. Point after try forthcoming. And this is back to a 5-point game.
Makes the score Colts 29, Titans 24.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now it's Richardson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory.
146 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Richardson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they can't bring him down. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. On third down, they're going to go with the option.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
He's been pretty good with his legs in this game. A really nice gain there. Defensively, they've been okay covering downfield, but you got to account for the quarterback, right?
Yeah, and that's the hardest part because normally when you play 11 on 11, it's truly not 11 on 11. Defensively, you don't account for the quarterback in the run game. You account for everyone else and hope that you can catch him before he gets to the first down marker. But as you noticed, he's been doing it a little bit. This time he saved his best for this run.
Saving one of his best for the fourth quarter. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Colts, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.